This will get loud. This will get loud.
Hello. Welcome to This Will Get Loud, the podcast where we talk about mothering, working, trying to live an intentional life in an especially chaotic world. And today I am here solo. I want to talk about something that I think is pretty important, but I think that most people probably don't even give it a second thought, and that is enthusiasm. As a adult woman navigating the world, I have had enthusiastic be an adjective that is constantly kind of thrown my way. I've also been described as positive, peppy, perky, you name it. I am what you would call an enthusiastic person. But what I've noticed, the older and older I get, most adults think that enthusiasm or act as though enthusiasm should be somewhat contained. And I think enthusiasm gets a bad rap, I think, because we perceive it as something that makes us look unserious. Like if someone says, wow, you're really enthusiastic, I kind of wonder if they mean it as a compliment or if they're politely suggesting that I calm down a little. And I have to say, if it's the latter, I beg to disagree. I actually think I should amp it up most of the time. And my dogs actually back this up. I'm going to be honest, they have never gotten a memo that says, you know what, you're just a tad much with the enthusiastic vibe. And I celebrate that. Listen, if I pick up a leash, my dog is absolutely going to celebrate like I've just announced a national holiday in their honor. Their tails are wagging, they're spinning in circles. They experience joy with their whole body, and they're not embarrassed about it. They're not like, oh, let me tone this down so I seem emotionally mature. No, they're thrilled. And yes, I'm using dogs as my gateway into this. But the thing is, if you look across spiritual traditions, enthusiasm, joy, delight, it's not considered childish. It's actually sacred. And what's fascinating is that all of these traditions, which people sometimes assume are wildly different, actually point to the same insight. Joy isn't extra. Joy is a part of the spiritual life. So let me give you some examples. In Psalms, there's this line, let them praise his name with dancing, moving your body, not polite appreciation, not a golf clap, not respectful silence, dancing, which if we're being honest, is basically what dogs do every time you come home. Full body praise. Now, Judaism takes this even further. There's a concept called simcha or simcha. I'm probably saying it wrong. I'm sorry, I'm from Ohio. I mispronounce everything. But it's not treated as a luxury. And that is joy. Joy is not a luxury. It's treated like it's our responsibility. Because joy is what keeps our soul alive. And there's even a Hasidic teaching that says the divine presence is most easily felt in moments of joy. Not in perfection, not in being super serious, it's actually in joy. And Islam agrees. They have a very similar idea through gratitude called shukur. Shukur, I'm mispronouncing it again. I'm so sorry. I murdered these words. Shukr. You can Google it. I should have Googled the pronunciation, but forgive me. But the whole idea is that gratitude isn't just an idea or a thought in our head. It's embodied. And we need to express it through prayer, through posture, through how we move through the world. And when you think about it, that's exactly what enthusiasm is. It's embodied gratitude. Your body is saying something good is happening. And, then we look at Buddhism and Zen, which people often imagine is very quiet, of very serious traditions. But Zen, they have this beautiful idea that when you experience something fully, without commentary, without managing it, that moment is complete. Dogs live that, right? They don't stand outside the moment evaluating their response. They're inside that moment. And when something is joyful, they let it be joyful. And here's the part I find really interesting. Humans, by trying to be emotionally mature and serious and taken seriously, we often protect ourselves from joy. We're cautious and we tend to tone ourselves down, especially adults, especially parents, especially folks that carry a lot of responsibility. We brace ourselves. We don't want to get too excited because what if something goes wrong? And looking at the world, there's a lot of evidence that things are going wrong. But I keep pointing us back to dogs. Yes, they don't have consciousness, but there are some things that they do that really we need to take our cues from because they don't do that. They don't dilute joy just because it might not last. They trust the moment. And I think that's where all of these traditions quietly meet and unite together because joy is not a promise about the future. Joy is a response to the present, that this moment is good. So let it be good. When the Psalms talk about dancing, when Judaism talked about simcha, when Islam talks about gratitude embodied in prayer, when Zen talks about full presence, they're all pointing to the same thing. The sacred shows up in our lived experience, in laughter, in celebration, in delight. And what dogs are teaching us is something they understand instinctively. They don't protect themselves from joy, they actively participate in it. And maybe that's the invitation today. Let yourself get a little excited about things. A good cup of coffee, a walk outside, a stupid meme sent to or from a friend, or your kid saying something completely absurd because, I've got two of them and there's no lack of completely absurd, hilarious things that come out of their mouths. But let yourself have a moment of enthusiasm today because joy isn't naive. Joy is alive and we need it now more than ever. If you're paying attention and you are afraid and anxious and you're unsure what to do, maybe look to enjoy those quiet moments. Because dogs, this is a spiritual discipline and dogs have been practicing it for thousands of years and I think they're on to something. Even though they never will write a theology book, they never will lead us, but maybe they can inspire us. Anyway, that's my spiel today. Thank you so much for being here. And if something, and when something, I should say, good happens today, try not to downplay it. Let yourself soak it in and maybe get a little enthusiastic. You might be surprised how your world shifts. Okay, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be back next week with another episode of This Will Get Loud.